Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now, on this video, I'm with my good friend Victor Oddo, who's got
What's up, guys? How you doing?
He's got an awesome YouTube channel. I'm gonna link his below. We're also doing a video on his channel. And this video today is gonna be on something I actually get people that ask a lot about, and it's understanding more of how we can attract our soulmate. You know, a lot of the videos on my channel are about the law of attraction in general. I have some videos that are geared at more of relationships, but what I thought I would do is bring someone on that actually has found his soulmate and somebody that used the principles in a powerful way in order to do so that they can kind of give you guys a barometer, something that you guys can also do as well in order to find your soulmate. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass the mic over to Victor now, and Victor can kind of share his experiences, and this will be the 3 things that you must do in order to attract your soulmate, and you can go ahead and
Sure.
yeah.
It's interesting because I did these things completely unaware that they're actually good strategies. It was just kind of what I did naturally at the time, but I can look back in retrospect and see, wow, they were a huge impact on the outcome. I met my soulmate. We've been married for almost 10 years now, and we're very happy. So
I'll link up a picture right here.
Nice. Yep. Number 1 is to work on yourself. A lot of people, I feel, at least because I have a similar YouTube channel as him, and I have a lot of people who kind of like, they want to better themselves, but they're that loneliness. They want to meet somebody. They want to meet their person. But what I found is it's important to really become your best self, not as like an end result, but at least be on that path. When I finally met my soulmate, even though I was kind of lonely the couple years prior to meeting her, I worked on myself big time. I went through a phase where I was really just into self-development. I was doing a lot of reading and trying to overcome like certain childhood issues. I had a real strict routine. I'd wake up and I had like 4 different little meditation books I would read and affirmation books, and I'd work out and I'd eat healthy, and I really like built myself up. And I was in a really bad place prior to that. And then after that, I was finally a match for the ideal I had in my mind, and it just kind of, it went on from there.
Yeah, and I think that's also important. I mean, a lot of what I talk about is that we always get a reflection of who we are being. And there's certain things that also we bounce back and off of people when it comes to patterns. And if we are kind of feeling, you know, not whole and complete, we're most likely going to attract somebody that also doesn't feel whole and complete. So when we work on ourselves, what we do is we, you know, in a way fill up that cup so that then we have something we can give to someone else, but also we are more likely to meet somebody that actually resonates with us because we are being the best version of ourselves. So the idea is that the more we work on ourselves, the more likely we are to get a deeper reflection and then to meet our soulmate of somebody that's also done the same type of work on themselves. So then it becomes a very synergistic type thing. Yeah, I think that's a great point. I'm happy you mentioned that.
Yeah.
And then, so then the second thing I think you were explaining to me.
Yeah, is actually put out a signal. I know he talks a lot about focusing and visualization and putting out that intention for what you want. Exactly, intention. And again, I did this not knowing that it's a wise strategy, but I did this, and ironically, my wife did the exact same thing in her own little reality bubble. I was just it was a couple years of doing my self-development. And it wasn't that I felt like I needed to meet my soulmate. It was more like I felt like it was time and I deserved it. And so I just sat there at the time. I prayed. I prayed out my window, looking out at the stars, just like out of a movie almost. And I said, like, God, please, I'm ready to meet my soulmate. I'm ready to meet that my forever person, I think is the way I worded it. I don't think I said soulmate, but I really put it out there strongly. And my wife, we always talk about it, but she did the exact same thing. Again, out her window, ironically, and then like not too long, within a few weeks after each of us doing that, we crossed paths for the first time.
How was it? Was it a synchronicity type thing, or?
It very well, it was. We were actually, truth be told, we were in an AA meeting. That was when I said I had a darker past. My wife and I both had like addictions in our like earlier years. And it was funny because my wife, she's always late still to this day, and she was late for the meeting, and there was like 10 tables, and the only seat available was right in front of me at my table.
Wow.
And when she sat there, I was like, oh my goodness, this girl's beautiful. I felt like I didn't have that instant like synergy, but I was drawn to her. Mm-hmm. And then after that, we happened to cross paths, and it kind of went on from there. But it was kind of an interesting irony that out of all the tables, it was my table right across from me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. Yeah, and it's probably to a certain point, that's where the level that you guys got to, and then you guys were ready for it.
Yeah.
So then you guys were working on yourselves together from that point of view.
She was in the same situation where she was working on herself, kind of trying to transcend her past. And yeah, it was like, it was just perfect timing, man.
Perfect, man.
Yeah.
And then I think we were talking about the third one next. And the third one, I think you said you had a personal story about, which is...
and I think it's very important. Like these other two, you can kind of set the stage, but you also have to take advantage of the opportunity. As I was talking to him just a second ago, I said that there was kind of a synchronous sort of meeting between us, but then we found ourselves again outside of the meeting, and I could sense that she was attracted to me. I could just tell, like, oh my goodness, this girl's like digging me. But I was nervous. I was not great with girls at the time, and maybe still to this day. But I took advantage. I pressed out of my doubt and my fears, and I was like, hey, can I have a smoke? I said something stupid like that. And then I initiated the conversation because I sensed like there's a lot of people at the meeting. This might be my moment. And within 5 minutes, I saw if she wanted to go out for coffee after the meeting. But again, it was not easy. It wasn't like it just fell into my lap. The circumstance did that. I think the things that I mentioned before sort of played into that.
You had to take action.
But I had to take action and not miss my moment.
Yeah, and that's something I talk a lot about on the channel, is the importance of taking action and stepping outside of our own comfort zone. Because if we've always done the same thing we've always done, we'll always get the same result we've always gotten. So sometimes we have to push ourselves to take action. And when it comes to the law of attraction, part of the process is taking action. And even in the word attraction, action is in that word, and I don't think it's just a coincidence. I think that there is an importance of acting and taking that action in the direction, and that as we do that, as we buy into ourselves more and we start to get into unknown territory, that's where miraculous things can happen, because we don't know what to expect. If we always did things and we always knew what the outcome, it's like watching a movie you know the outcome to. You've seen the movie 100 times, you keep watching it, it's not that exciting, you're not going to get anything new. So the key is to go out, to push yourself out of your comfort zone, and to realize that as you decide you're going to take action, you're actually then making that something that can happen for you. You're buying into yourself more, and by doing that, you're then going to get better results. So
yeah,
I agree.
That was something we had discussed. We were going to kind of add into this part 3 is like putting yourself out there, like putting yourself, like the likelihood of meeting a soulmate is, if you never leave the house, obviously is very slim. It's possible, of course, but
right.
If you go, a lot of people I work with, they're like into spirituality and stuff, and they'll say they're lonely and they want to meet their soulmate. I'll suggest essentially the same advice I provided in this video, but I'll say, why don't you go out there and go to places where you might meet somebody who you would jive with, like go to like a yoga retreat or some meditation class, because you're expanding, you're creating a greater likelihood of
you want to
finding that right.
Think of action.
Person.
Exactly, I totally agree. Think of action as when you take action, you're increasing the opportunities and the probability of something actually happening. So, for example, if there's a certain type of person that you're attracted to, go where those people are. If you're into yoga, go to a yoga studio and become a part of that. If you want somebody that maybe as a lifestyle, they're very fit and they like to work out, or go to the gym, or they take their body, they're very physically conscious of the food they put into your body, maybe go to a gym. Or, if you're into like more of the information that we share on our channels, there's online forums and there's ways of finding people that live close by. There's different ways to go about it, but if you start taking action in that direction, then you're increasing the probabilities of things happening, because you're putting yourselves where it is. You're putting yourselves where the action is happening, and you're more likely to meet somebody like that. So you have the intention, that's important, but beyond the intention is taking the action as well, which is something that I'm admired. I'm glad that you brought that up, because it's something I think a lot of people can get value from.
Yeah, and it really it's like, I look at it like demonstrating to the universe that you're very sincere and serious. Like I want this, I want a new job, I want this, but to actually go out and look, you do what we were saying, but you also, I think it creates maybe a stronger signal vibrationally to the universe, from the universe's perspective. Like, oh wow, this person is very serious. They're doing their best. They're trying. Well, let's hook them up.
Yep, and the word decision itself actually means, it comes from the root of incision, and it means to cut off from. So decision means to cut, so you're cutting off the other options. So when you take action doing something, you're cutting off the other opportunities, and you're cutting off things that no longer serve, so you're actually buying into yourself more, and it's something that then becomes much more likely for it to actually happen. So yeah, so I'm happy that, you know, I could introduce you guys to my good friend Victor, and if you know, I'm gonna link down in the description box. You're gonna see his video as well that we did on his channel. Feel free to check out his videos, subscribe to his channel. He's got great content as well. And other than that, we'll probably do videos in the future together. But now you know who Victor is, and I'm glad that we could, you know, do this here today. So thank you, Victor, for coming on my channel.
No problem. It's been a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me, my friend.
Of course, you're welcome. And as always, peace, much love, and namaste.
Namaste.